Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anna. In today's tutorial, I am going to be showing you how to draft a basic bodice pattern in the simplest way possible. This method is beginners friendly and it gives you a clean, accurate block you can reuse for all your sewing projects. So grab your tools and let's start drafting. The first step is to construct a box. The width of the box is going to be determined by the widest part of your horizontal measurement, and the length of the box is going to be determined by your front half length. Now, on our horizontal measurement, we have the bust, we have the waist, and we have the hip. In this case, the hip is the largest. So you're going to take the largest part, which is 40 in our case, divide the 40 by 2. Whatever answer you get, you're going to add 2 extra inches. 40 divided by 2 is going to give us 20. 20 plus 2 extra inches is going to be 22 inches. And that is what you see me marking here. Once you determine the width of the box, you're going to split it into 2 equal halves, which will be 11 inches, 11 inches in this case. One part is going to serve as your back and the other half is going to serve as your front. Step 2 is to start drafting from the back. On the top line, you're going to mark the 3 inches standard neck width, and you're also going to mark your shoulder measurement. Shoulder measurement here is 14, so half of 14 is going to be 7. As you see me marking, then on the back for the shoulder slope, you come down by 1 inch. Please note 1 inch, and you're going to connect your neck width measurement to your shoulder slope. Next thing is to mark our neck depth. For the back is going to be 1 inch, and you're going to use your French curve to connect that. The next step is for us to determine our armhole depth, and there is a formula for that. The formula is your bust measurement divided by 6. Whatever answer you get, you're going to add 1.5 inches, and I'm going to show you what we have. In my case, I have 7.83, and I am going to impute that measurement from the shoulder slope, guys, not from the top line, from the shoulder slope. And that is what you see me doing here. After indicating the armhole depth measurement, you're going to roll a straight line at that point. Then on that line, you're just going to measure out your shoulder measurement as well. Then you will connect it to the shoulder slope like you see me do. Next is to mark our back width, and to get the back width measurement, you're going to measure what you have from the shoulder slope and the armhole depth, and you're going to divide it into 2 equal halves, and you're going to rule a line at that point. Just watch me closely. Now, it is on this new line that we are going to measure our back width. So that is the back width line. The back width measurement here is 13.5. So you mark your back width measurement 13.5. The next step is for you to enter your bust measurement on your armhole depth line. Once you do that, you're going to connect the 3 points that I'm touching together using your armhole curve. Remember, I told you that the front half length is usually longer than the back half length. All you have to do is get the difference between your front half length and your back half length. In this case, it is 2 inches. From the half length line we drew earlier, I told you it was the front half length line. So just go up by that 2 inches and rule a line. This new line I ruled now is going to be my back half length. Next is to do our back tightening. From the center back, go in by 1 inch and connect the 1 inch to the back width line, just like I am doing. This is our new center back. The slanted line is our new center back. The next thing to do is to enter your waist measurement. And after doing that, you're going to add 1 inch dart allowance, and you would connect that to your bust line like I am doing. So at this point, I am going to move to the front and start the front pattern before we come back to the back to complete the hip depth measurement on the back. For the front, you're going to enter your 3 inch standard neck width measurement. And you're also going to enter your shoulder measurement. So I need you to take note of this part. Remember, on the back, for the shoulder slope of the back, we came down by 1 inch. But for the shoulder slope of the front, you are going to come down by 1.5 inches, okay? 1.5 inches. This is going to help us to eliminate issues with the armhole being too big. Please take note of this. I'm also going to enter my neck depth measurement, which is 3 inches standard. But if you want to get the exact measurement based on your client, you're going to divide your bust measurement by 8. Whatever answer you get, you're going to add 1 inch. Then your final answer, you're going to divide it by 2. In my case, I have 2.87. Can you see that this is close to the standard 3 inches measurement? So I'm going to be using my exact neck depth, which is 2.87. Next, I'll take my curve and connect this point. The next step is to enter the armhole depth on the front pattern. Now, I need you to pay close attention here. Remember the shoulder slope for the front, we came down by 1.5 inches. And the shoulder slope for the back, we came down by 1 inches. I also told you that when you're about to enter your armhole depth, you should enter it on the back. Okay, and this is going to enable the armhole not to be too big. Now, to know what you are going to put on the front, just measure what you have for from the top line to the armhole depth line and impute the same thing on the front, just like I am doing. Okay, once I'm done taking this measurement, you're going to see that the armhole on the front looks smaller than the armhole for the back. This will help the armhole not to be too big when your client is wearing their finished garment. Mark the shoulder measurement on the armhole line and rule a straight line like I am doing. For the chest width line, go up 2 inches from your armhole depth line and rule a straight line. On that line, enter your chest width measurement, in our case, which is 12.5. Mark your bust measurement, then you're going to connect the 3 points, which is your shoulder tip, the chest width, and the bust measurements. You're going to connect it to form your armhole. In case you're unable to pick these 3 points at once, all you have to do is just to break it down. You can pick the shoulder tip and the chest width first. Then when you're done connecting those 2 points, you can connect it to the bust. Okay, just watch what I'm doing closely. Next, you're going to mark your under bust measurement. And in this case, it is 14 inches. I'm going to rule a straight line there. Please don't mistake this under bust measurements with the back half length. Because they are both 14 does not mean they are the same. On your front half length, you're going to mark a quarter of your waist measurement. And you're going to add 2 extra inches. Please pay close attention. 2 extra inches. 1 inch is going to be for your dart intake. The other 1 inch is going to be for contouring purposes, okay? And that is what you've seen me do. Connect bust to waist with a straight line. You might be wondering if the side back and the side front will align. Yes, they will align, and we are going to get to that point by introducing what we call the bust dart. But before that, let's mark our bust point, and that is what you see me doing. Rule a straight line at that point. Then you're going to enter your bust span measurement. Bust span is 7, half of the bust span is 3.5. Come down by ½ inch from the bust point so that the dart apex is not going to be pointy. Now remember I said we are going to use 1 inch for the dart. Now the 1 inch for the dart, we are going to take our darts half on each side. Then the remaining 1 inch is going to be for contouring purpose. So from the second dart leg, go out by 1 inch, okay? Just mark it. I'm going to tell you what we will do with that. The difference between our front half length and our back half length is 2 inches. And that is what we are going to use to construct our bust dart. So from the bust point on the side, go down 2 inches. Go down by 2 inches and connect it to your bust span like I'm doing. So by the time we take that dart on the side, it's going to make the front and the back to align. Okay, please, if you have any question, I'm here to answer your question. All right. Moving on to contouring the underbust. To contour the underbust, you're going to start measuring from the center front to the first dart leg. You're going to skip those darts and move to the second dart leg. Then you continue your measurement until you get to the mark of your round underbust, which is 31 in our case. Just watch what I am doing closely. Once you get that measurement and you're able to get your round underbust measurement, you're going to mark that point and check whatever you have left. Okay, the remaining excess. In this case, it is 1/1/4. So the 1/1/4, you are going to split it on the two sides of the dart. Now, you're going to give this, you're not going to share it into two equal halves. You're going to divide it in such a way that the larger part comes to the dart leg that is close to your side front, and the smaller part goes to the dart leg that is close to your center front. Now, you're going to connect that point to the 1-inch contouring mark we did earlier. You're going to connect it like so and use your armhole curve to connect your bust point to your underbust measurement. Now, in order for us to close the side darts, we need to do what we call dart transfer, which means for us to close a dart, we need to open another dart leg somewhere else. So once I close this bust dart, I can either transfer it to the normal waist dart or the armhole, shoulder, neck, or center front. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be transferring the bust dart to the armhole to give us a armhole princess dart. Are we following? So next, take the measurement of your shoulder tip to your armhole depth, divide it by 2. Whatever you get, come down by 1 inch at that point. Then you're going to take your armhole curve and connect from that point to your apex, which is your bust point, just like you see me do. Can you see how easy it is to create armhole princess dart? Now, before I proceed with transferring the bust dart to the armhole, I would like to complete the remaining part of this pattern, which is to get my hip depth and draw out my hip measurement. For the hip depth, I usually use between 9 inches and 11 inches, and this is dependent on the size of the hip that I am working with. But since this is a medium size, I'm going to be coming down from the half length 9 inches. Okay, and I will draw that line out. So when it's time to draw the hip depth on the back, I will also come down from the back half length 9 inches. Okay, now I'm going to enter the hip measurement on the hip depth line, and remember the 1 inch we added on the waist for contouring purpose. I would also bring down that 1 inch. Then I'm going to reconnect to the waist measurement. Next, I would impute my bust span measurement and connect it to that of the waist. I would go up by 2 inch, then draw my dart leg. Now remember the 1 inch for contouring. I would go out by 1 inch and connect it to that of the waist. Now on the hem, you can decide to draw any type of style lines you want. You can decide to reduce it, but I'll be leaving it this way since it's for tutorial purposes. Let's go ahead and draw the hip depth for the back. Just like I did on the front, I'm going to come down 9 inch starting from the back half length, and I'm going to draw a straight line there. At that point, I'm going to impute my hip measurement, then reconnect it to the waist. On the center back, go up by 3 inches, then reconnect to the back slanting. Now measure your bust span measurement and add 0.5 inches and rule a straight line. This is where we're going to impute our dart legs. The dart is going to be 0.5 inches on each side. Go up by 3 inches and reconnect the dart legs. We are done for the back, and this is all about the back. You can also decide to shape the M as you like, but I'm going to be leaving it this way. The next thing for us to do is to transfer the bust dart to the armhole. But before I do that, I'll just split it into two so that I'm able to work on this independently. All right. So first thing first, to transfer the bust dart, I would need to open up the armhole curve that I did earlier. Remember, I told you in dart transfer, when you close one, you open another dart leg. Just watch what I'm doing closely. It's pretty easy. Secure it with a tape, and you're going to reconnect your armhole point back to your half length, just like I am doing. This is your very simple princess armhole bustier. So all you have to do is just to cut out the dart legs, cut it off, then you'll have two parts for your princess armhole. And that's it for today's tutorial, guys. You now have your basic bodice pattern drafted and ready to use for any style you want to create. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really supports the channel. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more simple sewing classes like this. If you have any questions or if there is another sewing pattern you would like me to teach, drop it in the comment section and I will be happy to help. Thank you so much for watching, and I would see you in my next tutorial. Bye.